Hey guys, just a quick job today. As you've seen, the under tray is nearly finished. Just a couple of little bits to tidy up on that and some mounting point brackets and stuff. So I've had a few questions about the number plate or license plate or whatever you want to call it. The idea with the tower unit on this, I wanted to keep it completely clear of the number plate. So it keeps the lines of the bike sort of clutter free. So a while ago I did do the number plate. I'm sort of happy with where it is and how it looks, but I want to do a bit of a change on it. It's not much, but I think I'll be a lot happier if I do this little job on it. But anyway, you'll probably all cringe. It's a side mount plate. Bear with me. I know on a bobber, hardtail or something like that, that's absolutely fine. It suits a bike, it suits a bobber or anything of that style. So doing it with this sort of bike was quite a tricky one, especially with a single-sided swing arm. So yeah, where I've put it, it's sort of not hidden obviously, so it's got to be on show, but it sort of blends in with the swing arm. But the little change I'm doing on it, if I can find the tools I've made. Oh, here we go. One of my super special knock together forming jigs out of a bit of scrap. So today I'll be using that and that. I've got to cut the material that I'm actually shaping. So this is the number plate itself. I can hear you all going, what the hell's he done there? What on earth's that? Bear with me. So the change I want to make on it is this top bit. I just thought it was just too plain, too much of a big area, and I want it to suit the swing arm as much as possible and blend into the shape of the swing arm as much as possible, but obviously still have that bit visible. The legalities behind it, I don't know. what custom bikes are totally legal. But anyway, if someone did buy the bike and wanted to put a conventional number plate on it, we've got them two fixing points where they can do that if they wish. The way I want to do the bike is like this. So what I'm going to do this afternoon, I say this afternoon, it's about 4 o'clock. I've been messing about with the rear sets because that's all relevant to what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this out and sort of sink that part down a tiny bit, or give it that appearance. So it is just a simple job, but that's what we'll do. Anyway, I've got a dog down here. Every time you talk, the dog needs to be in on everything. Hello, do you want to come up? Come on. No, clear off then. He's gone. Right. So this is going to be my little forming jig. So what I need to do is draw around that, leaving me a bit extra around the sides to sort of form over this jig. So we'll cut that out first and then we'll shape it up. I'm only going to do a rough line because this will be trimmed off when I've done all the shaping. I can just go straight across with that. You'll see why. I ain't actually forming that shape into it. That's just going to sort of disappear off the edge. You'll see. Yeah, I think we'll cut that out Right, it's got that clamped up in the vice. That's the bit I want to form. See, I've done me a line underneath so I can, you should see that. Get it about where I need it there. And this is the bit just to sandwich it together. That could have done with being a bit thicker, to be honest, but we'll see how we go. I'll say all these things are just bits of scrap. What I may have to do here, I may have to trim that radius off a bit more there. Not quite sure if that'll go around such a tight radius on the forming jig. Right, let's give it a go, see what happens. Another question I've had is why don't I put any heat into this? To be honest, the material's quite thin. It really doesn't need it. And you can cause more trouble than what it's worth, because if you don't control your heat properly and get that bit there tiny bit warmer, a bit colder and a bit warmer there and so on, it will actually shape different, as in the little radius as it rolls round. That could end up getting a bit messy with different like patches of heat around what you're forming. So it's much better just to leave it cold. Yes, if you're forming really thick stuff, then obviously you're not going to do it without heat, but with this being so thin, best cold. Yeah, I'm going to trim it off. I know it's not going to go. There we go. Just clamp that back up. That'll go now. Going. Doesn't matter if this little sandwich plate goes a bit out of line, because all that's doing is keeping the top from trying to belly up, which it will do. Let's have a quick look at that. It doesn't matter about this bit, you'll see why. That's not too bad. Just going to try and, oh, you can't see it from in there. See, the bit that you're going to see is this bit, the inside bit. Just tried buckling up there a tiny bit. That's the reason why you should use a thicker plate on top. And also, I say I'm going to flatten that out. Just don't hit it direct with the hammer. Use a bit of material and hit that and put the bruising into that, and not the job you want. to get this out now because I need that edge straight. Probably best. Yeah, I could do it along that. That's a bit straighter. Just going to get that radius in a bit better. As you can see that, so I'll just do it around a bit of round bar. Because like I say, it's that side that we're going to see. That's better. What I'll do next is trim this up so the depth of it when I set it into the number plate is all the same. So we just want to trim these edges off now. Just going to trim these off. What I've done is I'll drop that back in, and this bit of scrap here, as you can see that, I'll just use that as a guide, you see, to go down with the grinder. Do it. Right, I've marked that out. It's marked slightly under the size that I need because I want to trim it off so that drops inside more or less bang on with no gaps. Obviously we'll be cutting down into this side piece. I'll scratch that in to give me a guide to go with. Right, we'll cut that out and then set that in. Right, I've got that cut out. That's the little inset that we've just made. I think that's about there. Looks a bit wonky on top because that's just where the material's gone a bit thinner where I hit it with the hammer to get the shape. So when this is welded up, obviously that'll disappear. So I think what I'm going to do now is tack that in, then just trim this end off, then we'll weld it in properly and dress it up. With this, I literally have just gone round doing loads of little tacks. It doesn't look the best, but it's coming off. It's such a small area, I just didn't want to blow any of that away. My welder's not the best when it's set really low. So let's say, just a load of little tacks. We'll see how it looks when we grind it off. And then we've got to do, when that bit's taken off, we've got to weld all that in as well. Right, I'm just going to get all this paint off it. I only give it a quick coat ages ago just to see what it looked like on the bike. Eventually it will be the same colour as the swing arm, so it sort of blends into the shape of the swing arm. I know you're all wondering, where the hell's that gonna go? Still like it to dress it there actually. Let me do that. I think that'll do. We'll put it on the bike. There's still some little bits here and there. I need to drop a bit more welding and dress back again. Let's turn that off. But it's looking better. I'm not finished with this yet. There's still some other bits that I want to add to it to improve its shape. Like something down here and stuff. And yeah, make it up as I go along as usual. Like I say, I've done this ages ago, probably about a year ago, and I always wanted to do something different on the top of it, so I'm happy with that now. It just takes that plainness away from it. Like I say, I want to change this slightly, and maybe something down here, and then I'll be happy with it. Anyway, let's put it on the bike and see what it looks like. Obviously it will be the same colour as the swing arm eventually, so it will blend into the sort of the design of the swing arm. That was the plan. Okay, this is where it fits. So there's sort of this great big void in the swing arm here. So I thought, yeah, that'll probably be a good place for the number plate. As you can see from there as well. But it sits at a bit of an angle, like so, as you'll see in a minute. But from the back, you can't see that angle. Not really, anyway. But anyway, let's get it put in there. So there we are, guys. Just something a little bit different. I think in that void, probably on the Triumph, I'm not 100% sure, maybe the exhaust pipe came up here. It looked quite a bit of an empty space. Obviously there's my exhaust. That is it. So, make use of the space, eh? So it's about there. It's something a little bit different as well. I say it's at an angle, but from the back you can't really pick that out. You can see it clearly actually when you've stood at the back of the bar. I don't know how it comes across on camera, but you can see it. I know it's not the correct size. I get that. I know it's probably not in the correct place, but if someone buys the bike and they're worried about it, they can always make use of these. For the light, I'm just going to get probably just one of them little small LEDs tucked into this. We'll just drill a hole in this and put one of them little LEDs in there. Maybe just sink it in a bit, just so it's creating a bit of light on the plate. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's a bit different, which is what I try and do with the bikes. Anyway, it's getting late, I'm tired. Blue's tired. He's been tired all day. So that'll do me. Thanks for watching, guys.